Hi, welcome back to the Eeudge. On this episode, we talked about the Nintendo Switch, hobbies, and we also gave some advice. The Eeudge!
Huge. So how's it been? How's it going? How's life?
Well, work's been busy. And my first bullet point here today was that we both wrapped up the short film.
Right.
That's done. That era is over.
The era's over.
Because we didn't mention it on here talking about it.
Yes.
And at the time, we hadn't filmed it yet.
Mhm.
But now we have both filmed it
And
Raymond.
seen it.
Yeah, and Raymond's done, and it's currently on YouTube.
It's currently up on YouTube. By the time this comes out, it'll be out for 2 weeks. So run, do not walk, and check out his new film, When the World Turns Quiet, starring us two.
It's crazy because I opened up YouTube and I already had 49 views.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
I saw that.
All these people?
Yeah. And like that's crazy because I was thinking about this. You know how I think it's, I don't know how out there it is or whatever. But Raymond made the movie because someone basically was like, there's no way it's gonna get more than 5 views. Which I don't know if we've brought it up, but that's pretty mean thing to say. Kind of a crazy thing to say.
Although, I mean, you might want to cut this part out. Well, she wouldn't watch this. Negging though. Classic oldest
negging.
Rule in the book.
Right.
Come on.
Rule number 1.
Yeah. Game in the book. I don't know. Trick. Whatever.
Yeah. Negging is popular. Have you ever employed negging yourself?
I tease my shorty. Yeah.
You tease, yeah.
I'm
a very sarcastic person, so I think it's pretty natural.
Yeah,
for me.
but I don't think I ever do it in a mean-spirited way. But more like, okay, so an example of this would be, so my friend Alexis, well, she met
Shorty
a while ago, and then afterwards I texted her and I was like, okay, so like, what do you think? Like, is she how you were expecting? And or like, I don't know, compared to like my normal type and people and whatnot. And she basically said that my shorty is so much cooler than anyone I've ever been interested in the past.
Wow.
And I was like, well, damn. And I was like, well, okay, great. And I told my shorty that. But now every time she does something kind of dorky or silly or whatever, which is every day,
which is most of the time.
I go, she's so much cooler. and she'll sometimes say it about herself as well, because I think she was like, when we had the pool party, hosted a pool party on Sunday, and when she was in the water, she was like, you know how like kind of like a hippo, like half submerged in the water, and then she was like making bubbles. She was doing that, and she was like, she's so much cooler. I was like, I don't even have to say it anymore. So anyway, so I do kind of nag in that way, but I'm not like, wow, that sure looks bad, you know what I mean? I would also never be like, oh yeah, that thing that you're passionate about, it's not,
you're a failure.
Yeah, you're not gonna see any metrics.
You don't have what it takes. You reap what you will sow, and you'll have reaped nothing.
I of course would never say that, but I guess I get, like, if you're just kind of joking around, like you have that humor, sure. Yeah. It seemed like he didn't exactly take it to heart, but he's also kind of hard to read.
He's very hard to read.
Yeah.
Every time you think you're reading him a little bit, he throws a little something from left field at you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm curious. So you said you have bullet points. Do you have like topics in case, like, to bring up or whatever? Sometimes in my day-to-day life, I'll be like, this is just a random thing that I thought. I'm like, I wonder what Amelia's 2 cents is, but not like enough to be like, we have to talk about this. But it's like, if we ever experience dead air, we'll just throw it out there because it's just so random.
I think because my work is actually making me work now, I have less time for whimsical thoughts. And that is not like who has time for that. I mean, like, I miss it dearly, just being able to have the time for my brain to go there. So unfortunately, that doesn't happen to me that often. I feel like I used to come up with some weird questions. I wanted to talk about the short film.
Right.
I wanted to talk about, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before, but last episode, I was anxiously waiting for a Nintendo Switch Lite to come in. And so I wanted to talk about that and my experience with Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Yeah.
And then segue into hobbies.
Okay.
Or segue into cozy games because I wanted to talk to you about cozy games. Segue into hobbies. Segue into Smash or Pass hobbies. Segue into advice.
Right.
Segue into the ranking. So that's what I have.
Okay. Perfect. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my thisness meter like I'm planning to do every time. And then I have blind ranking for when we do that.
Beautiful.
And then I just have topics in case something comes up. But like I said, they're not I am open to new note. And not like it's like I need to know her thoughts on this, but it's like, hey, one day.
One day.
Because one of them is just Scotch egg. You ever had a Scotch egg?
Yes, I have exactly one time. There's a restaurant. There's a couple locations here where we live called Cornish Pasty. I call it Cornish Pasty. I do think it's pronounced Cornish Pasty.
I believe so.
But it's my right as a European American to call it Cornish Pasty. I'll call it whatever I want. Right. I'm not British. I'm Irish, but
yeah, those are close enough. Is
enough.
Ireland a part of the UK?
I believe so.
Okay.
Wait.
I think part of it is. I think there's Ireland and there's like Northern Ireland, right? Yeah. Give it up for a couple of Americans not knowing geography.
Give it up. I actually think it's probably not. My guess is that because like when you first asked that question, it was like a snap yes, but now I'm thinking if someone says I'm from the UK,
yeah.
I'm not thinking like I think they would say I'm from Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think like Wales is part of the UK.
Right. I forever thought UK was literally. I thought London, Britain, and the UK were all like interchangeable. But I think England is what I meant, not London. My bad. I know London's different. I know London is in England.
I get it.
But England and Britain and all that, I thought it was all interchangeable. But okay, go on.
The UK is composed of 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Oh.
So yes, my dad is not from Northern Ireland. He's from Ireland. So
good old Ireland.
That's the difference. Anyhow.
All right. Well, anyways, yeah, I put Scotch egg because one day one of my coworkers, we were opened in the morning, and she was like, I had an extra Scotch egg if you want one. And I was like, you just casually made Scotch eggs? And I was like, because obviously for me, yeah, exactly. Because obviously, like we got into work at 9, and that early in the morning for me, I'm not waking up early enough to make food before I go to work. Like it's pretty early for me. Mm-hmm. And so the idea that she was even up earlier and making like a functioning adult making breakfast that early. But Scotch egg, I was like, I imagine it would be a process. Mm-hmm. But apparently it's not. You just hard boil an egg and then you get like ground sausage.
That still sounds hard.
But anyways, it was pretty good. And so I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, my dad,
it's a peculiar food.
He FW's pretty heavy with the Scotch egg, because I remember we went to Cornish Pasty, just the 2 of us once, and he was like, I think he wanted the Scotch egg, and he got it, and then another time he asked for it, and they were like, oh, sorry, we're all out, and he was pretty not pissed. He's not an angry guy, but he was pretty despondent. Yeah.
I've had one twice. That time with a coworker, but the first time was at Ren Fair. They have a big Scotch egg.
Cute,
not that big,
cute.
And I was like, okay, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I want to ask you about Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Oh yeah. So I went to this is, let's say, the 10th or 11th, 10th. So I went on the 7th on Saturday, and I went just for the one day. But we were like there all day. We got there like at 11, and I think we left well after 9, but before 10.
Damn.
So we were there all day.
I didn't even know it went that late, honestly.
I truthfully did not either. I think the reason I didn't know is because I've been to cons before. Also, they used to call it Phoenix Comic Con. I guess they legally can't anymore.
No, they can't.
I didn't realize it was a legal issue. I thought they just wanted to be different.
Yeah, but I remember that.
That's crazy. But I haven't been since it's been called Fan Fusion. It's been a few years. But back when I would go, I would only ever go to like the exhibit hall. Have you ever been to a con or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I went to Comic-Con, or back when it was Comic-Con.
Back in my day.
Literally back in my day. Like I think the first year I went was 2014.
That sounds right.
And then I think I went a couple of times after that. My cousin is like she's pretty into all that stuff, her and her husband, and so I think I would just like tag along. Yeah.
Yeah, my first ever con was actually in Long Beach, over in California. And that was 2014. So I was 12, and I can't remember the exact how it happened, but I think we were gonna go to Long Beach because my dad wanted to go see a car show, and I'm not into cars that much, except for unless they transform. um, and so I'm not into cars, so I was kind of like bummed, and I was like, I don't really want to do that. But then, just so happens that same weekend was Long Beach Comic Con, so I was like, holy shit! So my dad and my brother went to the car show, and then my mom took me to Comic Con, and that was fun. Anyways, so normally when I go to a con, if I know I'm going in advance, I save up money and I just like buy things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the exhibit hall. It's, everyone has their shops where it's either art or like obviously comics, toys, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I usually just spend my time there. I just take it as a shopping trip. I've never like paid the money to meet in a celebrity, mainly because I either A, didn't have the money, or B, there's no one that I cared enough to spend the money. Um, so, and I've never done like the panels. They always host like panels and like shows where you can come meet people. Sometimes it's celebrities, sometimes it's just like random people talking about stuff. And I've never done any of that. So that's why I was just like, well, there's no need for me to stay that long because I'm just doing some shopping. When I'm shopping, I go. But this time around, we did that and we met up with some friends from my work. And yeah, I'm not gonna say her name, and maybe she does, or might, I don't know, but her and her fiance, and we were just shopping around for a while, and then they had a wrestling match, um and it was here's the thing that was super confusing, because if you look at the little book of like the times everything is, it said it was at 4:30, but then it also said at the same time it was at 7:30. So I said, well, what is it? But it was supposed to be like a Deadpool versus Wolverine wrestling match. That's how it's advertised. Oh, that's our door. I was like, what the hell is that? um that's how it was advertised, Deadpool versus Wolverine, or it was like Wolverine versus a bunch of Deadpools. And then we found out there was actually one Deadpool versus a bunch of Wolverines. And I was like, okay. And then we found out that that wasn't the case like at all. And we're sitting there, and then it's just like actual wrestlers just wrestling. Right. Yeah, and it's yeah, it's just people off of the audience. And then people are wrestling, and like if there was a lore going on from the day before, there was like a continuing arc.
Okay.
So I don't know what was really going on, but I was mildly entertained just watching people like slap around each other and screaming. There was somebody who would hold the glowing orb and just circle the ring. That was always fun. And then after that, we ended the night with by the time we left there, it was probably like 9 or 8 something. And then, oh no, we must have left past 10, because that we left that at 9, and then we went to a masquerade show, which is just people in cosplays who sign up for like a contest, and they go on stage one at a time, perform a little thing.
Little drag show?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Basically in their costumes, and everyone's like, yeah. I didn't know most of them, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, I know you don't follow me on any social media, or just because you don't use social media.
It's just
but a really cool experience happened. So I was dressed as Optimus Prime, as you saw. Did you see any pictures?
I think I did briefly. I didn't download Instagram, but I got on Instagram.com. I can't remember why, but I opened when I was there. I did open up your story, and I saw the photos of you and your partner. Yeah. Oh, which, by the way, my shorty said that your partner's hair, like the wig, was like she thinks that it was like a really flattering cut on them.
Oh, really? A bob?
Yeah, I think maybe it's something about the bangs. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I was on bang check duty for most of the day, just making sure they were okay.
Bang check.
They would ask me a lot, "Are my bangs okay?" I would go, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I was Optimus Prime and they were Megatron, and we didn't do like full on boxy robot stuff. We were just kind of like what casual cosplay basically. But somebody, one guy came up to me and was like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I said, "Yes, you can." Of course you can.
$2.
And then and then there were 2 different people who just wanted to take a picture of me and my partner, not like with us or anything.
Cool.
So that's cool. And then I was talking to them, and I was like, "That's so crazy. There's just pictures of me out there now that I'll never see, and the people, complete strangers, I don't know who has them, you know."
That's funny.
Anyways, but we were walking around the exhibit hall, and then this older gentleman walks up to us, and we are next to like the booths where you can go and meet the voice actors of things.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes up to me and he was like, "Oh, Optimus Prime, hell yeah!" I was like, "Yep, that's me." And then he's like, "Oh, and Megatron," points to my partner, and we're like, "Yeah." And then and he was talking about how the costumes are pretty cool, and he was like, "I'm in Transformers." And I said, "Oh, I didn't." I said, "No, I did not actually." And he was like, "Yeah." And then I looked like behind, and there's a big poster, and his name, I don't know how to say his last name, but his name is Dick Terhune, Terhune. Terhune. I don't know if it's a hard H.
H-U-N-E, what came before that?
Terhune. I've been saying Terhune. Terhune. Anyways,
I don't know.
and then he was like, this whole thing about like, he was like, yeah, I got a call. They wanted me to be Optimus Prime. Didn't get that. They wanted me to be Megatron. Didn't get that. But they gave me these other roles in the show. And it was this one, unfortunately cop car, but we'll take it. And yeah, he was like the voice of one of the newer shows. And I haven't watched the show too much, but I've been watching it because it's like aimed for a younger audience enough for my nephews and niece to watch it.
Oh, cute.
And so they know that I'm into Transformers, so I watch it with them sometimes. And they have, Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
I don't play it. I don't know anything about it. But they have Magic cards that are Transformers characters. So he was basically selling his character's card, and then he just signed it for me, and it's in this cool case. So he voices Prowl for any Transformer heads out there. And then so he's talking to us, and he's like telling us like his lore of getting asked to be on the show and everything. And I'm just like, this is awesome, just like him coming to talk to us. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I know it's gonna cost because that's like why they're here. But I was like, can we get like a picture or something? And he was like, yeah, sure, come on back. And I was like, I hope it's not that expensive. And I just I've doomed myself because I know myself, and like just with my anxiety, if it was like $300, I wouldn't have just walked away. I would have been like,
okay.
I'm like, yay. But no, it was like that autograph was like $40. I was like, okay, sure. Okay. So I bought my partner paid for that for me. And then the guy who was like checking us out, like was working with him to work the little iPad and everything, was like, you guys know Bumblebee's here too, right? And he said, no, we did not actually. And then he was like, yeah, he's like, I can just take you guys back behind this curtain and I'll take you to go see him. And I was like, yeah. And then telling this story later to my friend we were with, was like, you guys have no survival skills. That's you just got took to a secondary location. Yeah, literally. And we're like, yeah. And then like he was walking us past the curtain, and I was like, this is actually a little weird. So I grabbed my partner's hand, and I was like, we'll make sure nothing happens. And then yeah, we just walked behind all the curtains, and like there's like a little maze of curtains back there. And then he opens it up and he just yells out, he's like, Jeremy. And the guy looks at us and he sees our costumes and he's like, oh shit. And then yeah, it's the voice of Bumblebee from the same show. So and then we talked for him for a little bit, and he loves our costumes, and then we just take a picture with him. I would have got an autograph too, but he didn't have the cool card, and I didn't really want anything else that was there. So I was like, I'll just take a picture. But that was super fun meeting them, and like that was really cool. Yeah, especially taking us behind the scenes. Pretty sick.
I think like Comic-Con must be the time of year where voice actors are like, it's my fucking
this is my time. Yeah.
Like finally people give a shit about me.
Right.
People obviously give a shit all year, but I mean like in person, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love, like, I would love to be a voice actor. Like, that's why I like being a DM for D&D, because I like doing the funny voices. And that's just pretty cool. Maybe that would be the dream. If Raymond ever makes animated movies, I'll be a voice in them.
Well, if he'd expand the Pen universe,
the Pens already move. If he just let them talk, then that's us.
The Pens from Pen 1 and Pen 2, ASL. That's what they were doing. Okay, let's get some speaking pens in there. How about it?
Yeah, I mean anything more to liven up that franchise. Sorry. Anyways, we do love the Pen duology, and I'm excited for the third. We just have opinions. We're just opinionated.
We are.
But to make a long story short, great time at Phoenix Fan Fusion.
That's perfect.
A lot of cool costumes that I took pictures with, and it's just a good time. Yeah. And I was really worried because my costume, I was in a leather jacket, and we live in Arizona and it's really fucking hot. Oh, yeah, but inside the actual convention center, it was like pretty chilly, so I was okay. I was living it. Yeah, they know what's up. They get it. Yeah, okay, because people are in like fursuits, like suits of armor. People, they get it. They crank that AC up.
They get it.
Alternatively, there are sometimes people who are wearing close to nothing, and it's like, I hope you bought a jacket
for inside.
Yeah. But yeah, I had an excellent time. Thank you for asking.
That's wonderful. So proud of you.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you. Okay. Do you want to get right into your thing, or should we do a really quick this meter?
Oh, I would say I really just wanted to have a little chit chat about, like I said, I just recently got a Switch Lite, and so this is also kind of more of a free form discussion. And so then I think after that we can go into the segments, basically.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, I wanted a Switch Lite. I think it's because my girlfriend, She came over once and she had a Nintendo Switch. I think she just like has a Nintendo Switch, but she doesn't like use it that much. And I was like, man, this is kind of fun.
It's kind of fire.
It's kind of fire. And so then I got it used on eBay from Japan, which was kind of cool because the box was like all the writing was in Japanese as well. So that was yeah,
nice.
like on the side and shit. So I still have that. So I got the coral one, which is literally like the same one,
That's the one I have, yeah.
as the one that you have over yonder. Just a light. And the first game that I bought was Hello Kitty Island Adventure because I watched a girl play it like here and there on YouTube, and I was like, bro, I'm getting this. This shit is so cozy and cute. I'm getting it. And so I got it, and I'm a cute little pink little sheep, or I think.
Oh yeah, you make your own little guy, right?
Yeah, I'm either a sheep or a bunny. I think I'm a bunny. I'm not really paying attention to me that much. Right. Let's just say that.
It's not about you.
It's not about you. And I bought it like I knew that I wasn't gonna be like, oh, this is my new number one hobby, but I'm still gonna like it'll still be worth the money anyways. And so I've only played like a handful of times since it delivered. I think like last Tuesday, or last Monday. And yeah, shit is cozy, which is great. But then I also bought a game called Duck Detective, like the case of the missing salami or something like that. It was like the first one, and I booted that up. I think like Saturday morning. I'm not too crazy about that one. That was not as fun as I thought it would be. Okay, so this one it's a duck detective, right? Wouldn't you believe it? And you're like he got called in like a random case. A random caller asked him to come and investigate this missing salami at this like bus station like office. Like they run the buses, I guess, for a company called Bear Bus. And anyways, and so then I was like, you have to just like walk around and like talk to people, and then you have to sort of put together like in your little detective notebook like information about them. I think maybe the reason why I'm not too crazy about it is because I came up against a little snag where I forgot to enter the information in the notebook. And so when I tried moving on to the next room, they were like, first you have to do this. And I said, okay, all right, I can do that. And like it was basically like, oh, you have to write down the names for each of the characters, the first and last name, and it's a multiple choice thing, okay?
Right.
But like the multiple choices are developed when you hear people speak, like when you get the clues about who people are.
Sure.
And the thing is like I got kind of stuck on like one person's first name because I only had two options, and then eventually I only had one option because I narrowed down the other option. And I was like, well, it wasn't like that's not his name. And so I had to look up. I was like trying to find like no spoilers, Duck Detective, what the fuck is the bear's name? And I got it, and it was like, okay, his name is Manfred. And I was like, okay, but like, how am I supposed to let people like clue me in that his name is Manfred?
Because you can't
I keep talking to people and they're not saying shit, and like they just keep saying the same two like lines. And so then apparently I had to like go about it a different way. But when I was trying to figure out how to go about it a different way, I literally just got spoiled. Spoilers, don't.
If you intend on playing Duck Detective in the missing salami,
just skip like a minute, okay? Because then I'll be done. Okay, so I'm trying to look up this bear's name, and they were like, yeah, so the point of the game is to identify that he's the thief guy. Like, I was like, fuck you! I'm clearly still playing. If I'm trying to figure out what his name is, I was so mad because I'm literally on a page that is specifically for just figuring out the characters' names. That is like step 3. Okay. Yeah. Clearly, what are you talking about? Handwriting? I don't like what. I haven't even been able to go into the kitchen yet. Like, I was so pissed because I was like, oh my god, he stole the salami. He stole the salami. And so I'm a little peeved. Okay.
That's unfortunate.
I'll probably keep playing because I'm hoping that
there's no thrill anymore.
I paid like $6 or $7 for this. It's not crazy. But I'll probably play it through but I'm pissed as hell
That's
because
so funny.
I just wanted to know how to like get his name so I can move on to the next
Right,
scene.
of course. You just needed the next step. You didn't need the entire.
I really didn't because they like it was crazy that they just inserted at the bottom of like, yeah, so basically you're gonna match his handwriting to the handwriting of the thief and you're gonna figure out that he's the guy.
And that's him.
And
And
I was
that's
like,
1 for 1.
kill me now. Thank you. Anyways, so I love mysteries, so I really wanted a detective game, and it seems like I don't know, it seems like maybe there's not a lot of those.
Like a detective game.
Yeah.
I've It's not a genre that I've ever tried playing. When I think of a detective game, I've never played it, but I think of one called LA Noire. You ever heard of that one?
Oh, actually, Shorty mentioned that one, and
That
I looked and I
one's
was like, this almost looks like GTA plus a little bit more.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know what year it came out, but I know my brother had it for the 360. So
Hmm.
that was well before I was in like even middle school. So it was a little older, but I know they like remade it or at least put it on Switch. I don't know if it's like remade, quote unquote. But I mean that one, I hear that one. People like that one a lot.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't play the mystery stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with mystery. I think the idea of like puzzle solving is very cool to me, but I just haven't found one that's really struck me. And
Yeah.
I don't like the ones that are like visual novels where it's just like a text. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, I would. I if it was something kind of similar to like Life is Strange, where it's visual novel,
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
you have some choices
Uh
there.
huh.
That would be cool. There is one that I saw called Call of the Sea. It's kind of like a historical sort of one. The one that I told you that I saw that was interesting called Best Served Cold.
Oh, right.
I don't think that's out yet, but I think it's coming out this year, so I'll keep an eye out for that.
You
But
want to keep your eyes
yeah.
peeled.
Anyways, because like I think like I mean I have played Stardew Valley before. I play it on my MacBook. I'll probably end up downloading it and playing it on the Switch. And probably still like keep playing it on the Switch because I'm not on my laptop often. But it might be a while just because I have played it before.
Yeah.
I have gotten for Stardew players. I've gone. Oh, Alita's messing with the
Alita's
stand.
scratching herself on our
Hi.
tripod. I can scratch
Okay,
you.
be careful.
Careful now.
Okay. Um, for Stardew Valley players, I got pretty much as far as when you can go to the island and then you get to the part where you start fighting monsters, but not in the caves. Now you're on the island, and I just couldn't handle it. I could not take the heat. I could not handle the smoke. Because I literally
Get
I
out of
tried
the
a couple
freaking
times. I
kitchen,
got in
man.
there, died immediately, enough where I just closed the game and I did not open it back up.
Mm.
At least not that world. I've like restarted maybe a couple times. But yeah.
Yeah, I've played Stardew Valley only with friends, and I definitely have not made it far. I feel like for games like that, I get caught up in the the repetitiveness
Mm.
of the stacks. Not in a bad way. Like I'm okay with it. Like that's why I don't. I don't know. Like for example, for like Animal Crossing, there's a lot of things you can do to like make things like. Or actually, no. Here's a better example. Like Minecraft. I've been playing Minecraft since I was a little kid, and they've added a lot of stuff. And I'm not playing it every day like I was when I was young. So
Mm-hmm.
they've added things I'm not familiar with, and there's a lot of like it's a sandbox game, so you can do whatever you want. Whenever I play, I typically don't do much. I typically just like build, and I like building and making things pretty and farming and stuff. But to make things like better and like progress in the game, you have to go out and do things.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually find myself pretty comfortable in the routines of my day to day life in Minecraft, and that's farming, checking my farms and my animals and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So when games like that, when I'm kind of given the choice, almost like when I played Stardew, I would stick on the farm and fish and stuff, and then my friends would go and mine and everything, and
So would you try to like love up on the characters at all?
no,
You
I
didn't like
was
care about
I
that.
was I was locked in on my crops.
That's
I
funny.
Well, to be fair, I don't think when I was playing, I don't think I really fully knew that was an option. I
Mm.
don't think I wasn't even concerned with the other people of that town. I was locked in on my crops. Yeah,
Mm.
reaping
Interesting.
what I sow.
Yeah, I so for Minecraft, yeah, I played the only times that I played was with my dad when I was younger, and we always did creative mode. Sue me.
Oh yeah, I
And
did that a lot too.
I've seen YouTube videos of like people playing like the game.
Yeah.
I remember like
The
I used to
game.
be like really into like the commentary YouTubers, so I did watch like Danny and
Oh,
not this
right.
Danny, but the other one.
Other Danny.
Not this Danny Gonzalez, but the
The
other
other
one.
Danny Gonzalez.
And Curtis, like I think they had like a
They had a little
what do they
Minecraft
call
world,
an
yeah.
SMP? A server?
An SMP, yeah.
Okay, anyways.
Well, I don't know if that was that is a term. I don't know if that's what theirs was, but it's like a server,
Whatever.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a
A world.
server. Some other people that I was familiar with would pop in there. So I remember I would watch them play, and like I'm just not interested in doing that myself. But I could see myself hopping back into creative mode. Yeah.
Yeah, creative mode was always fun. I remember doing that a lot as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Stardew Valley, like I think if I were to play again, I'd be mostly focused on. I love fishing in Stardew Valley, and I do like befriending all the characters. I guess I wouldn't care. I probably I don't know if I would romance anyone. Maybe I would just be a little lonesome.
A little hermit.
Yeah, a
Little
little
hermit
hermit crab.
farmer.
But honestly, I think if you decide to play again, befriending the characters might help you with the farming and whatnot because then like you can get gifts from
Yeah,
them
sure.
sometimes, like random shit like
Yeah,
that.
I feel like when I played Stardew, I honestly, truthfully, probably didn't give it that much of a chance. I played it for like 2 weeks with just some friends, and not like every day or anything, but and very funny. We played with two of our friends, Christian and Kai. Um, and
I remember because I remember when me and Raymond and Jacob when we graduated that
oh
night, you
yes,
like I think you texted me or something and you were having like a grad party and
uh-huh.
then you guys were talking about fucking Stardew
Stardew Valley,
Valley
yeah.
and we were
I
chatting
think
about
I
that.
think someone was like, "What's the name of this person?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't play Stardew Valley." And I was like, "Let's ask Amelia. I know she plays Stardew Valley." Yeah. But no, we had played, and I remember we were loading up, and then I remember Kai was like, "All right, guys, one of us has to be a woman so that we can like get married and have kids, and like it benefits." That's something for the I forgot what he said, but it's something for the game that makes it better.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Okay, word." And then we all load in, and all three of us are women, and we go, "Fuck." No coordination on who's gonna be the
one of us is gonna have to change.
well, one of us has to be a man. Yeah, that's my experience.
That's funny.
But I mean, yeah, I'd love to give it another shot. But this would basically be for the first time because I never played it alone.
Basically, yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, no, I really love fishing, and I think well the farming can get repetitive for me because it's like fuck, I have to water every single unit of here.
Yeah.
But I do fuck with the fishing quite a bit.
And who doesn't?
Anyways, so yeah, I mean so that's why I'm now venturing into the gaming world.
I'm dying to hear what you think about actual Hello Kitty Island Adventure. How's that
About
going?
Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Oh.
Yeah. How's the island adventure going?
The island adventure is great. I think I've made like pretty good progress. I do like so I know that so like my shorty along with many other shorties in the world, they enjoy Animal Crossing.
Yes.
I don't really have an interest in it because it looks like pretty freeform to me.
Yeah.
And that's cool and everything, but I think I like that Hello Kitty Island Adventure, at least where I am now, seems to be pretty like quest based. Where I like literally all the friends. They all just want like they always have shit for me to do. I'm running around. They're putting me to work. I'm working like a dog on that island. Okay. And so that's pretty great. What the interesting part is actually that Hello Kitty is not really the main character in the game. I mean, I guess I'm the main character, but like out of the friends, she's not even the main. It's My Melody.
Oh.
And which is cool because My Melody was my favorite Sanrio character.
Right. Hello Kitty is present though, yeah.
She's
just
present.
Very on the side.
Yeah, she owns like a bakery cafe. So when you're with her, you can learn how to bake. And then My Melody owns a like furniture gift shop. It's called Small Gift Big Smile.
That's so cute. Small Gift Big Smile.
Isn't it so adorable? Let's see.
What's Pom Pomprin doing?
Pom Pomprin's actually currently missing.
Bring him home. What do you mean he's missing?
Okay,
like in lore he's missing or he's just not there?
In lore he's missing.
What?
So let me tell you. Okay.
Bring him home.
When at the beginning of the game, you spawn in on an airplane, okay? and you're with all of the friends and then one rando lady, like, and not a human lady, but like a rando lady. Okay,
One
that'd be
photorealistic woman.
so weird. I'd be sick to my stomach. Anyways, no, she's like a little like mouse or some shit. I don't know. And
It'd be so uneasy if there was a random woman there. No, go on.
yeah. Anyways, so they're all on the plane and they're like, yeah, like we're gonna go. So my Melody got invited to this mysterious adventure park island, very like Scooby-Doo spooky island, to go and like open up her shop and like work there. And so we're all going to support her. Yay!
Yay!
Okay, right. But then Hello Kitty's like, do you want a cake? And you're like, yeah, I totally want a cake.
I would love fucking
And
cakes.
you literally don't have a choice. Like you have to say yes, I want a cake, right? Which I would obviously yes, I want a cake. But anyways, so she goes in there and the cake machine like breaks and it's just spitting out cake. Okay. And so
Damn.
like what's his name? Bats Marin. Yeah, he's like, I can't take it anymore, and he jumps out of the plane, and so then we all just line up. Yeah, and so we all just line up and jump out of the plane, right?
Oh,
and
everyone's like, well,
yeah,
it's like if your friend would jump off a bridge, would you? Yeah, I would.
Mm-hmm, I totally would. I was the last in line, so what choice do I have? Yeah. Who's piloting this plane? I don't know. But anyway, so then you land on the island, and then it's like, okay, so the OG, like the people that you find right away is like My Melody, Hello Kitty, Choco Cat, Bad Mats Marin, Karopi. Oh, wait, no, not Karopi. What? Not Karopi.
Kuromi?
Pachaco.
Oh, Pachaco.
Yeah.
Me. From the last episode.
I think those are the only people that you find. And so it's like everyone else is missing. The like kind of like sea monster guy.
Oh, Hangedon?
Yes.
The fish boy?
Yes. He's missing. Kuromi is missing. Karopi is missing. Pom Pom Purin is missing. Oh. I don't know where the fuck Cinnamoroll went.
No. Oh yeah. That's surprising.
Anyways, what you find out later, Cinnamoroll is actually like this all-knowing male. He's a postman, and when I say all-knowing, I just mean like he develops some sort of service where you can literally teleport from mailbox to mailbox.
That's so sad because Cinnamoroll is kind of a being that it's just the idea that he has to work is really sad to me.
I think, well,
you think he's happy about it?
I don't know, but yeah, Cinnamoroll is cool. And also, I mean, he's all-knowing in that like everyone else, at least like all of the characters that you can find they're visible on the map, like you can see where they are at any moment, except for Cinnamoroll.
Oh.
He's just okay wherever you are. And so I got a quest, like last time I logged in, I had a quest that was like, just give Cinnamoroll like a bunch of gifts this week. Like, I don't know, maybe like his birthday or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It didn't say his birthday, but I was like, must be his birthday. But it's like, okay, well, cool, because where the fuck is he? You know?
Yeah. Anyways, I'd love to give him the gifts.
I would love to give him like a strawberry chew. Thank you. But anyway, so yeah, so then it's like, they're not really freaked out. Like the friends aren't like, oh my god,
we'll find them eventually.
Did my friends land safely? Because we all parachuted out of the airplane. No one's asking that. No one's saying is something nefarious going on with this island. No, they're all like, oh, we haven't found them yet. We haven't met up with them yet, is what they say. Yeah. Anyway, so then everyone just decides, oh, actually it's so mysterious because there's a cafe that is perfectly decorated for you, Hello Kitty, and oh, look at that, cafe. A comic stand for you, Bad Mats Marin. How convenient. Choco Cat, you love building things and books, and look at that, there's a little stand for building things and books. Huh? Curious.
Yeah, they purposely made everyone else missing.
Yeah.
So have you found anyone yet?
Yes, I have. Okay. Yes. So I was able to locate Spooky Swamp. And in Spooky Swamp, that is where Karopi and Kuromi are located. And then I have
obviously the Spooky in the Swamp.
Yes. And I have technically found Hangedon. Except the thing is, I found him in the middle of the ocean and he's deep underwater. So I'm like, so I can't locate him, but I see, like they say, basically one of the quests that you have is you have to give everyone a gift. Mm-hmm. And so, and like if you come across someone that you haven't given a gift to yet, there will be like a symbol being like gift, like
Oh,
inside
give it to him.
this building or whatever, like go give him a gift. And so I see that symbol
Just in the middle of the ocean.
deep in the ocean, and so I'm like, cool, okay, so
Maybe buy some scuba gear or something.
I don't know. I already have flippers, which is how
Oh,
I'm able to swim.
right.
But yeah, anyway, so I'm living life.
Living that island
It's
life.
cool. Yeah, I'm living that island life.
I will say it's very fun. I think I brought this up. It's very funny. Your timing on purchasing this thing, considering also last week the Switch 2 just came out.
Yeah.
Not that not that I expected you to get it or anything, but
Absolutely not.
it's just very funny that the day or like the week that you decided to get Nintendo Switch Lite, the Switch 2 just drops also.
Yeah, my cousin, like I said, the one that Armida, the one with the Comic Con, she was like, "Oh, like, did you get it for a discount? Because like Switch 2 is dropping this week," and I was like, "I bought it from eBay. Like, it was on discount at like GameStop and whatnot. Except, you
Mhm.
know what? I don't think there was that much of a crossover because I got the Switch Lite and it like the regular Nintendo Switch 2 dropped, which is a little different. It's
Yeah,
bigger and you can remove it and
it's
shit.
larger. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
totally different
it's a
thing.
production,
Right.
versus mine is like more like a little skit.
Yeah, how much did you pay for this one?
Like 130.
Oh, that's pretty great actually.
Yeah, truly.
Not bad at all. Yeah, the Switch. So the Switch 2 did drop. Our good friend Jacob got it. Slipknot Boom, and we played it on Sunday after the pool party. I had a lot of fun
Oh,
playing
you
the new
played it?
Mario Kart. Yeah,
Oh, fun.
he brought it and we plugged it in. We played the new Mario Kart World. Very fun. But it's very funny when the day he bought it because it was on Thursday, like the day it dropped, launch day. And I was working later in the night, and he was off, and we just like called and talked about it in the morning. Because I woke up to a text from him that like, oh, I'm watching this Mario Kart gameplay, and it's insane. Like, could you imagine playing Mario Kart on this? Because we like to play drunk Mario Kart or Mario Kart, however you want to call it. Um, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I was like, he's watching a lot of stuff. I was like, are you gonna get it? He said, not at all. I was like, okay. And then we called and talked about it, and like just our thoughts, like, because I don't know if you know any of the discourse, but it's very actually no, you were present when like our friends were talking about it.
Yes.
It's people are either supporting it or not. It's all over the place. But I'm pretty sure it's also like the biggest launch day for a console has been. So ultimately, who cares?
Yeah.
And so I personally, like all the things that people have a problem with it don't really affect me. Like if you try modding it, it just breaks it. I'm never gonna do that or whatever. So I'll probably get it, but I am making myself not spend that money because A, I'm going to California next month.
Ooh.
And
Oh yeah.
B, I have all those Switch games and I haven't beaten all of them. So it feels kind of silly getting an entire new system when I have this much of a backlog. So I'm gonna try my best to work through all of them and then reward myself with the Switch 2. Plus, right now the only new game is Mario Kart, so I might as well wait for them to make new games. Next month comes out Donkey Kong. That Donkey Kong game looks very fun. I love me some DK. They redesigned him, and a lot of people are mad about it, but I'm actually in love with how he looks now.
So I don't know what he looked like before, and I don't know what he looks like now. But just out of your curiosity, do you think he looks more or less cuntier?
Cuntier? That's interesting. I like the way he looks better, but I think he's less cunty. Because when I think of like someone looking cunty, I'm thinking no. Like if I'm wrong, that's totally fine. You can correct me. But I think like sharper. He's a little rounder. But I'll get your I'll get your opinion. Because he looks so. Here's how he has kind of basically looked for the last few years. There's him with Diddy Kong.
Okay.
And then this is how he looks like in the new game.
There's a lot of detail in the hair.
He's rounder. He's a little more cartoony. He's a little cuter, I think. So his eyes are a little less beady. His eyes are bigger. He has funnier teeth. Not funnier, bigger teeth.
Okay, I guess I see what you mean by rounder because mostly in his eyes.
Yeah, his
I'm
eyes.
seeing that because I'm seeing gorilla.
Right, because I'll tell you one thing. It's both of those are gorillas. Yeah, I like it a lot. A lot of people are complaining because it looks closer to how he looks in the movie, Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong from the Mario movie. But that was a fine design too. I don't know. I like them cuter. I don't know. I don't like him as a big scary gorilla.
I think he's not as cunty, but he is cuter.
Yeah, exactly. You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay. I like it better. Not that I dislike the way he looked before, but I do think it's an upgrade. Okay. But anyways, yeah. So that's. I don't have any of the video game news myself, just my own experience with the Nintendo Switch 2. And it's bigger, which I am excited for. But yeah, I probably won't be getting it for another month or two.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because like I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I mean, obviously it sucks. Like I think even if you're not personally planning on modding or repairing or whatever, your Nintendo like does suck that they're just taking that away.
Oh no, but
at the end of the day, Nintendo like they're too big. You know what I mean? And that's why they're doing it.
That's why they can do it. Yeah, like Nintendo, like I think Jacob even said it in his little YouTube video he did when he got it. Like Nintendo is an awful company, and they are low key a little greed incarnate as far as corporations go in the video game industry. Like I don't know much. I don't know if it has anything to do with like the economy and tariffs and stuff, but the fact that games are like $70-$80 now instead of before, it was usually like capped at like 60, unless you're getting like some sort of bundle or special edition or whatever the fuck. I don't know why that is the case. You know what I mean? That doesn't seem logical. I don't know, but that sucks. So I'm still not gonna be happy paying with $70-$80 games. And the fact that they have like basically taken away the option of modding does suck too.
Yeah.
But Nintendo fans are gonna buy it no matter what, and unfortunately, I'm one of them. So I'll be there.
Yeah. Hey, at least I bought my used. Except I did buy from like the eShop or whatever, but that's fine. The Hello Kitty Island Adventure wasn't that expensive because I didn't get the deluxe edition.
I can't imagine what would come in the deluxe edition.
The deluxe edition, you like it's just that you get more gifts basically. Like you're starting off point is higher up, things like that. But nothing that comes in the deluxe edition is impossible to get eventually with the regular edition, and it was like a $20 difference. And I was like, I'm patient. Like,
I'll wait.
Like, that's fine. Because I think it's like year-round gifts, and so like you start off with like some of those year-round gifts versus having to wait all year to get the gifts. But I'm like, Rob, like if I like the game, then I'll be playing it a year from now. And
ideally,
if I'm not, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't get it, and it didn't seem like there was any difference with the story or anything like that, or like what you can do. So, anyways. Yeah, and then again, I paid like $6 or $7 for Duck Detective. Thank God, thank the Lord, because I would. And they do have a second game, Duck Detective, and it's like something about like a bear or company retreat or something. And hopefully, if anything, I will finish Duck Detective Missing Salami so that I can like figure out how to play the game. And so then if I decide to do the sequel, that I don't have to look up anything.
Right.
Anyways.
So. Yeah, that is tragic. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, piss me off. Anyways, okay, yeah. So I just wanted to have a little freeform discussion about Hello Kitty Island Adventure cozy games, and I guess I said hobbies because I was like, well, cozy gaming is a hobby.
Yeah. I was like, gaming is for sure. I mean, gaming in general is for sure a hobby.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if any of the games that I play would be considered cozy though. I guess Animal Crossing, but I don't play that often.
Yeah, I just said cozy games because Hello Kitty Island Adventure
definitely sounds like a cozy
and also
game.
Duck Detective.
I have a cozy game that I really enjoy that I haven't played in a while because I beat it. Do you like things fitting in a place and things being right?
Oh,
and stuff?
Did you do a little to the left?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love a little to the left.
I think I'll probably end up downloading that at some point because it did look pretty fun.
Is that on the Switch?
I think so.
Oh shit! No, I have it on my computer, but yeah, I love a little to the left, and I love watching videos of it, even though it's like levels that I've already beaten and shit. I haven't. I guess there is DLC for it that I could get if I wanted to.
I'm pretty sure it is on Switch because I think when I was looking in the puzzle category, because there is no mystery category on the eShop, but I was like, puzzle?
Yeah. Puzzle.
I think it was in there, so I'm not even bother looking it up. But yeah, anyway. But yeah.
But yeah, that's my coziest game.
That's fine.
A little to the left.
Okay. Anywho, segue time because okay, we talked about all of that, and I said gaming. Hobby. Let's talk about some other hobbies in the context of would you fuck these hobbies?
Yeah, would you fuck these hobbies or would you pass these hobbies?
Yeah, so we're doing smash or pass hobbies, and I clarified to you before we filmed that this is not like do I like this hobby or not. I want you to think about the personification of this hobby. What would this hobby be as a person? Like what character would they have?
Right.
What would they even look like in your head?
Yeah, so the hobby incarnate, personified.
Yeah. And would you fuck that hobby?
And would I fuck that hobby?
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
First one, bird watching.
Okay, now I need a slight other clarification. This isn't somebody who would bird watch.
No.
This is bird watching.
This is bird watching as a hobby. Not like as a person.
Pretty similar.
But
wait, what's similar?
like the person who would birdwatch,
right,
and
versus
birdwatch
birdwatching as a person.
Yeah.
Now it's really hard to disconnect those two ideas for me because my immediate thought, smash. However, my keep thought is like being in the woods. You're probably a little dirty. You're probably covered in leaves and branches and shit. But I'm gonna stick with my guns and say smash.
You're gonna say smash. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you know what? Birdwatching is attentive. You know,
It's
they're
attentive.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Right. So you would never feel
and
unconsidered.
Right, and they'll notice like every little thing between the different birds. You know what I mean? Like they'll know exactly what you need and what you're looking for.
And connected to nature.
And grounded.
Anyhow. Okay, moving on to the next hobby.
Yep. Wait, what's your answer? I'm the only one answering?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sure.
I was gonna joke and be like, I'm in a relationship.
So pass, actually.
Pass all of them unless it's shorty as a hobby. And it's not happening. But obviously I'm not gonna do that because you also have a partner.
Right, and I've already answered. So
a short day.
A short day, yeah.
As I like to say. Anyways, so roller skating.
Yeah, smash. Roller skating is cool. Yeah. I think of Sonic employees. I don't know if they do that anymore. I think of Sonic employees. I think of obviously a roller rink. I think of roller derby. That's pretty hot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're out there.
And it's versatile. Because that's all very different. For someone going on a roller rink and dancing is different than obviously someone playing roller derby and getting in there and just really smashing people.
But they all have swag.
The one, it's like a Venn diagram of all the different ways to roller skates, and in the middle is swag. The overlapping. Yeah.
Including and Heelys. Would that count as
then Heelys for sure. Yeah. Roller skating.
Yeah. I mean, famously,
wheels on heels.
As you know, me and Shorty's first date was roller derby. That was my first time at a roller derby, and I was confused, but I was with it.
Yeah.
I was with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to roller skate, unfortunately, but I always kind of wish that I could, because I think that would be. I don't know why people, if you know how to roller skate and you own roller skates, why are you walking?
Sure.
You know,
sometimes you have to take life a little slow.
If I knew how to roller skate and I was still in college, believe you me, I would be all over that. Right. And I would not be squeezing myself onto the bus, like the campus bus, because that was so annoying sometimes. I would just be like, let me pop the skates on. But the thing is, I don't know how to roller skate, and I guess like I could go to a roller rink and like rent a couple times until I learn. But I don't want to buck up for roller skates right now and then learn. I don't want that barrier of entry.
Yeah, roller skating seems. I've never been able to do anything. I've never learned how to do anything with wheels besides drive. I don't know how to ride a bike or roller skate or skateboard or anything. Yeah. The only wheels I'm familiar with are driving.
Have you ever been on a scooter? And I don't mean an electric scooter. I mean
you mean like a
a push.
I've tried. Like, I mean, I can do it a little bit, but I can't.
I think you could do it.
If I put pedal to the metal, I probably could. If I put time and effort into it, I probably could. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there we go. Next hobby, and we're doing 5 hobbies, guys. Next hobby, archery.
I'm gonna say pass.
You're gonna say pass.
I'm gonna say pass. And this is coming from a guy who took archery classes back in when I was a kid. Did you know? I took archery classes, I want to say, on a weekly basis for a couple months. I wasn't amazing, but I could shoot a bow when I was a kid. Okay. Me and my brother would go. My brother was really good, and he was really into it. And low key, the reason why I'm saying pass, because that evolves to him being a hunter, and I don't like that. So I think what's it called? I feel like archery is one foot into the door to that, and I don't want to. I'm okay with that.
Do you think, unrelated question, but smash or pass, do you think if you're good at archery, you would be better at throwing darts, like at a bar?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't think by that much. Like, I don't think if you're good at archery, you're perfect at darts. But at the very least, you're training your aim.
Yeah, that's true.
But you still have to learn, because it's a completely different like motion you're doing.
Yeah, which, by the way, question, So it's Pride Month, and I kind of like
Sure is.
barely realized that because I'm really not outside like that
Yeah.
anymore. Um,
And you're
but
breathing
me and
focus.
Shorty, we were like, "Fuck, it's Pride Month. What are we gonna do?
Nut-
Like, what are we gonna do?
Right.
We should go to Nuttown.
We have to go. This
We
this
have to
has
go
to
to
be the
Nuttown.
month that we go to Nuttown.
Yeah, because like I don't know when we're gonna have a chance to like do a lot of Pride things. I think we also want to hit up a drag brunch at some point this month, but we'll see. Pride Month might be July this
Pride
year.
Month.
We'll find out.
People are saying that Pride Month's actually next month.
It doesn't July like sound
Really,
like a gayer
shouldn't we
month?
be proud all
Like,
year
what do you think
round?
sounds more gay, June or July?
July.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's change things.
Let's
up a little
change
bit.
things up a little bit.
Anywho, next one. Okay, have you seen The Princess Diaries?
No, is that Anne Hathaway?
Yeah.
I've seen like the first half hour.
Okay, so do you know her mother is an artist, and there's a scene where you find out the way she.
This is gonna be a really niche hobby that I've never heard of.
So, but it's pretty easy to explain. But
Okay.
I thought you would. I thought I would be able to
Okay, let me-
easily reference her mom.
Okay, let me
Anyways,
get there.
She's an artist, and you see her. She has paint balloons filled with paint, and she just chucks it at a canvas. Okay.
Mhm.
And then also,
No, I'm there.
I think in another scene, she had them like taped up to the canvas, and she threw darts and let them fall where they may. So the hobby that I want you to smash or pass is paint balloon painting.
It's paint balloon painting.
Yes.
Balloon painting.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going off of gut, I said pass.
And we are.
And we're going off of gut. Okay, then pass.
Mm-hmm.
I put a little more thought into it, and it's not an enthusiastic smash.
Mm-hmm.
If it were to be a smash, I'm going to say pass, but it wouldn't be a very enthusiastic one if I decided to. Just because I mean, the only reason that I'm pushing a little bit is because as an artist, you got to respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But on this side, it's like that's kind of it's whatever.
Yeah, paint balloon painting would make plans with you and then change it like 30 minutes before.
Yeah.
Being like, oh fuck, like forgot we were doing that.
Balloon painting with balloons would be balloon painting with balloons would make a very loose plan, but be totally fine if it all went wrong. And my anxiety can be okay.
Yeah.
With that.
And paint balloon painting would like make a total mess in the kitchen and then like forget to clean it up.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think they have the drive? Do they have the passion? Yeah. They're definitely an interesting.
But character. I think paint balloon painting is probably like not that considerate. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's like we're gonna do this, and it's like and everything else that gets in the way is collateral damage.
Yeah.
And I need somebody a little more considerate, a little more careful. I think.
Yeah, methinks no. Okay, the last hobby I wrote down scuba diving, but I actually think I want to know if you would smash or pass jazz piano. Playing piano,
jazz, right? not a piano. Jazz, a jazz yeah, I would smash like a jazz pianist. Oh, I guess I'm not. I'm fucking the idea of jazz piano. No, it's playing jazz piano. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go smash. I love jazz. Now, it's not my favorite genre. It's not the one I listen to the most, but I love jazz, and the piano is almost the best part. It's giving La La Land to me.
You'd have to be very technically skilled and very precise, but then clearly you still have that creativity in you.
Yeah,
you're playing jazz piano.
You're creative. You're an artist, and Lord knows what those fingers are capable of.
And you probably know all the best spots in town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, okay, so that was Smash or Pass
that I feel like. What?
Okay.
I feel like what I was expecting for like the line to be for hobbies was out the door as soon as number 2. I was like bird watching. I was like, okay, yeah, pretty good pull, but definitely a hobby. And the second one was what? Roller skating? Yeah. I was like, that's maybe a sport. But I guess all sports are hobbies.
Yeah.
I'm just saying my expectations immediately out the window by the second one. So that's beautiful.
I think the sport is a hobby if you're not on a team.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Even if you are on a team, but it's not like a college team, a school team. Like I think it's a hobby. Like if I'm playing, if I like I used to be in like a rec beach volleyball league for my work. That was a hobby.
That's a hobby.
Yeah. So, anyways.
That was fun. Thank you.
Of course. Of course.
That was very funny. Yeah, I the archery one was threw me back. But it was then it also gave me
throwing it back.
Sorry, throwing it back with my other hobbies that I'm smashing.
Should we do your thisness meter?
Yeah, let's do the thisness meter. Welcome back to the thisness meter, the only meter that'll measure how like this week.
We have to come up with something better. We have to change that copy.
We have to figure that out, and we will in next episode. Okay, first one, and you remember how this goes.
Oh, do I?
For anyone who's not, I have 3 questions. I'm gonna ask for our favorites of 2 things for the first 2, and we're gonna see if we're on the same page. And then the third one is always a one or is a binary option. Okay, first one. Favorite fruit.
Give me a moment with that.
Yeah, going because there's a lot of good ones, and you can't say me right here, man.
I guess I would say my shorty. But okay. Anyways, that was quite shallow. Like
it was. We were a little too close for a.
It was for like a thumb to thumb.
Yeah,
we were not thumb to thumb. Anyways, okay. I have to think about it. I'm trying to think of like a fruit that. Oh, you know what? Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Plum.
Strawberries.
Oh, that's a classic. I love a plum, dude.
Whoa.
What?
Deep cut.
Not sleeper fruit, if I can say.
I think so. And a sleepy fruit. I think.
Wait, what? Does it make you sleepy?
Okay, I'm thinking about like the strawberry shortcake characters. I'm pretty sure there is a Plum. She might be the librarian. But
such a Plum job.
I think Plum like just sounds like, doesn't a plum sound so sleepy?
Oh,
dancer. Just kidding.
Plum pudding looks like a dancer. Yeah. Plum pudding vanished from Strawberry Land in 1982, only to return to the series in 1984 as an intelligent female.
Like Pom Pom Purin.
Pom Pom Purin.
Intelligent female.
Strawberry shortcake seemed not to notice. Wait, what? Okay.
Was she an idiot before?
A surprise. Okay, here's this. What's this little screen? Her job was a dumbass before. Okay, plum pudding. The last of Strawberry Shortcake's original 1980s friends, plum pudding was the bespectacled genius of the group. A surprisingly non-token second boy character in Strawberry's early adventures, plum pudding. A surprisingly non-token second boy character.
Okay, so she transitioned.
Happy Pride Month.
Oh my god.
Plum pudding vanished from Strawberry Land in 1982, only to return to the series in 1984 as an intelligent female.
Whoa.
Strawberry Shortcake seemed not to notice. Ally. Strawberry Shortcake ally.
Because she's just been who she always has.
Plum remained Strawberry Shortcake's scientific advisor through the franchise's disbanding in 1985. Her pet is an owl called Elderberry. Okay, well, that's beautiful.
Okay, so maybe she kind of looked like the dancer to me. I did used to watch the 2009. I know people like the old, like I think it was like 2005.
Wait, I just realized that this picture is from a Reddit post that says plum pudding from Strawberry Shortcakes is a trans girl, and at the bottom it's pre coming out and then pre E, 6 months on E and 2 years on E.
That's crazy.
Shout out.
Hi, Lena.
Anyways, yeah, no, I love a plum. Plums are I don't know. I'm not a fruits expert. I don't know what's the difference necessarily, but I know the ones that when you bite into it and it's like red. Those are my favorite.
Those are pretty yummy. They're not tart.
Right. And I don't mind the ones that are like yellow on the inside either, but my favorites are the red ones.
Yeah,
red
plum. Pretty good pick.
Pretty good pick. And I love sucking on that pit at the end.
Okay.
All right. All right, tell me about strawberries. Everyone knows strawberries.
I love strawberries. I mean, like they're classic. I think I like them because they're versatile, similar to bananas. Not quite as versatile.
Not quite like
but they're also still like kind of like yummy sweet berry. I think bananas like on their own maybe not the most interesting, and that's because they're so versatile.
Sure.
But then like the strawberries, like it can be on its own, still packed full of flavor, but I can put it on top of a crepe. Strawberry jelly.
And when a strawberry is fully red and it's really sweet. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't want one that's not ripe. But yeah, and then like I can put like a little sugar on there. That's what my nana used to do. Strawberries and cream. Strawberries like in like ice cream. Like That can be pretty yummy.
Yeah,
I like it combined with chocolate covered strawberries.
Oh, right. I love putting. We talked about this when we talked about cereal. I love chopping up strawberries and putting them in my HBO, my Honey Bunches of Oats. I tried this morning. I put them with my some cinnamon toast crunch, some CTC.
Boom.
Pretty good still. Pretty good still. I recommend.
That does sound good. That sounds fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking strawberries are great.
Yeah.
I was actually choosing between a plum or a mango. I also really like mangoes as well. Especially growing up, and you go like the elotero, and they have the ones on a stick.
Come on.
They cut like a little pine cone flower thing.
That's cute.
All right. Next up, favorite chip. And you can get as specific or not as you want. I would prefer specific, but
okay.
Favorite chip.
Okay.
Papita.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Lay's
Doritos,
Chile Limon.
The red one.
The
like the classic.
Not
Doritos
nacho
flavor.
cheese.
Yeah, nacho cheese. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
like
because there's nacho cheese
and
then there's spicy nacho.
I remember Doritos Cool Ranch, and I to be fair, I fuck with both, but I think I could just keep eating Doritos nacho cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we had some this morning. Yeah, no, I love the Lay's Chile Limon. They're I don't have much to say about them other than that they're absolutely delicious to me, and those are ones I could eat just an entire bag in maybe 10 minutes.
I've had those before; they're pretty good. To be fair, I don't eat chips a lot. I think like
you're not a chip guy.
No, I'm not. I'm also not too much of a snacker. I think like I fall in and out of snacking, and when I fall into snacking, the weight starts to add up. It's unfortunate. And the nutrition like it goes totally down because they're not nutritious snacks.
Not at all.
And so I try to limit my snacking quite a bit. Nowadays I just snack on fruit and string cheese.
String cheese is fire too. This is a chip household, and we usually have a wide variety. But when I have the chili lemon, gone.
That's good.
That's why they're not here that often because they don't last. Okay.
Hi.
And finally, I feel like I did know. I feel like I don't know your answer to this, but I wouldn't be surprised at either one, which is why I want to know what your definitive answer is. Okay. Morning person or a night owl?
Okay, I think we have talked about this before, over text.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Night owl.
Morning person.
See, for me personally, I want to say that I'm a morning person because for example, today I woke up at 1 p.m. because I had consumed something last night, and I honestly kind of ruined my day. I was like, I hate waking up late. Like even on my days off, I try to wake up at like 8 or 9, like at the latest. You know what I mean? Anything later, I feel like a failure. But I also very naturally just like don't go to sleep early, and like so. And the thing was with sleeping, I don't naturally wake up early. I like to wake up early, so I don't think I can call myself a morning person because I just naturally stay up till like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, sorry. That was Alita. I'm definitely a morning person. I think I fall asleep naturally at like 10 or 11, and if not earlier, but like if I'm alone, then probably earlier, just because like you kind of get bored.
Yeah.
And then ever since me and Shorty stopped like drinking as much, like we'll wake up in the morning and we're up at 6:30. We're out of the house at like 8 a.m. because we just like have an itch to go get coffee, go to the grocery store, go like do something. Whereas before, like when we used to be out at at the bar late at night, even if we never were heavy drinkers, but I guess as we start we're clubbing less. When we used to do that, it was like we wake up at like 9 and then we don't want to get out of bed until like 1 maybe.
Yeah.
Which was, it's fun. It was snuggly, but yeah, now it's totally different. So I'm definitely a morning person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's why I was like, I feel like you seem like the type of person who wakes up early, and I know you do, but also at the same time, we've gone out to like clubs before, and sometimes we'll hang out late. So I was like,
oh yeah, no, there's been times where like we've gone out, and he used to live further away from me. He used to live like maybe like 40-ish minutes away, you could say, and we've gone out. We'll come back to the house. With McDonald's. I'll be driving home watching the sunrise. And it's like, who am I? What is going on right now? So we're not out until sunrise because like we leave at like 2 or something from the bar, or maybe one, I don't know. But then we're like hanging out talking, like unlike the group of us, at your old house. So that's happened like a couple of times. Or I even remember like when we went to round one that one time. I think it was pretty late.
Oh yeah, probably like 1 or 2 in the morning. I think.
Yeah, it was something like that. So no, I'm definitely like capable of it, but I think the thing is I have to know if I'm going out like earlier in the day. Because there are times where like me and Shorty were like, yeah, like maybe we'll go out, like we'll see how we feel. I usually I like can't really do it. But if I'm like, oh, like I'm going out tonight, and I'm not dreading it, but I just mean like I save up the energy, I'm anticipating it, I'm like I know what I'm gonna wear, I'm like taking a shower, I'm getting ready, like yeah, it's a thing.
It's got to be a whole thing.
I have to know basically. Yeah.
I feel you. I also like I'm pretty iffy when it comes to things being spontaneous, and like I also to an extent want to know if something's going on. But I can be spontaneous. I'm like, you know what, fuck you, let's just do this. So I'm kind of in the middle on that. But I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so another episode of Zero on the same page. So just so you know. And that's
but we
fine.
understand.
But we understand each other.
And that is more important.
It's not about our similarities. It's about understanding our differences.
And Doritos nacho cheese and Lay's
Chile limon.
They go together.
They go together so well,
bro. Like put them in a bag, put them in a bowl,
shake them up
big
one
old bowl, and
yeah.
let's go. Get out of town.
Get out of town.
Come on.
Yeah, Mom.
Anyway,
put some tomatoes on those.
Anywho, and again, you're a night owl who can be a morning person.
Yeah, I'm averse.
I'm also averse, just the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
all right.
A switch.
You
might say.
I will say, just not to be that guy. We have passed an hour.
Okay.
So do you want to pick between blind ranking or advice?
I think we can move on to actually. So my blind ranking wasn't that hot today. You can look at the list. I'll read it out quickly, and then you can decide if you want to go through this. Actually, I can't.
Actually, makes it a
no
visible.
Longer blind.
It makes it a sightful ranking.
Okay. So I'll say, the topics that I picked for blind ranking are not. They're more on the like cutesy whimsical side, is what I would say. And then the advice that I picked was on r/advice, and it's crush on my friend that I want to get over.
I think we go with that one. I don't know if we go with that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned it, but I originally wanted this podcast to be an advice show and podcast. So this is gonna be a taste of what that would have been like.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go through that.
So just to give my blind ranking some flowers, I'll read it out really quickly, and then you can. I'm not gonna tell you to rank it really quick, but like you'll know. Caramel / caramel, balloon animals, Looney Tunes, an empty notebook, or Coldplay.
Possibility. Coldplay is 5. Okay, Coldplay, balloon animals, empty notebook, caramel. What was the last one I'm missing?
Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes 1. Okay.
Looney Tunes, caramel, empty notebook, balloon animals, Coldplay.
Okay. And
just
there
we
have it.
And
we will not discuss anymore.
And that is that.
And that is that. Moving on to advice.
Yes.
Okay, really quick. Let me see if I can open up, if it like synced with my photos on here. Yes, it did. Okay. I took like screenshots of a couple of different ones, but that's the one that I'm going to go with because it's like kind of short and sweet, and also into the lore. We kind of know what we're talking about. We've
been here.
I guess not crushes on friends. I guess a little bit, but anyways. Crush on my friend that I want to get over. This was on r/advice. When I took the screenshot, it was 11 minutes old because I was like,
whoa.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want one that everyone has already weighed in on.
Right.
I want one that and someone did already.
A comment?
7 minutes after the person posted it, someone already gave advice.
That's crazy.
But this is not really for them anyways. It's for us.
This is for us.
Okay.
You can help yourself.
I'll read it out. I've had this crush on my friend 2 years ago that I got over when I started getting with my now ex-boyfriend. The last relationship ended in a dumpster fire. And now I've had this crush on my friend for the last 2 months. When I like something, I obsess. The last time we hung out, I was extremely awkward, quiet, shy, and in my opinion, probably off putting. I'm going to see him soon, and we're going to spend a few days together, and he's spending the night. I am 95% sure he doesn't see me as anything more than a friend, and I can live with that. I know I will eventually get over this crush, but I just want to not be so awkward around him. I just want to be myself around him again since I do value our friendship. Any advice on how to get over this crush soon, slash, at least not be so shy and awkward?
Um. Okay, so this person's not the asshole. Okay, so I'm thinking not the asshole. No,
I definitely
that
didn't want to
is
go on that one because I was like, too many of these stories are made up.
true. Okay, so right off the bat, that's obviously a tough position to be in because ultimately there is no you can't just there's no off switch so you can just be like, okay, I don't feel this way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it has to be, and this is an advice that I would probably even myself waver to take, but I think it is the way to go, and it's the only way out is through. And you have to maybe just be like, hey, I'm feeling this way, and I understand that you probably don't, but I just need you to know that, and
Mm.
then that's that. And then if something happens, then great, but it probably nothing will. And then now and I think it's just closure. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because I mean, it's also been 2 months. It could just be a crush, and it's not like anything crazy. You know what I mean? It
Mm-hmm.
could be a small crush. It's only been 2 months, and they say that when they like something, they obsess over it. And as someone who has like an obsessive personality like that, like sometimes you just obsess for a little bit, and it's kind of over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like I just think in any case where you have emotions that are that strong, hiding them is always gonna do something to you that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta let that stuff out. And
Yeah.
maybe not even like if you don't even want to confess OP, then you just have to you just have to suck it up and be the friends until you don't feel it anymore because I don't know if there's anything that you can do to make yourself not like somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in my experience, you like someone and eventually like you realize it's like you realize it's not going to work out and you're like, oh, okay, well then your body just kind of eventually is like, okay, I don't care anymore. And if not, then maybe you learn more about them and then you're like, oh, that's something about you that doesn't make me dislike you, but it's like I realize now that we wouldn't be compatible, and so I don't have those feelings anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
So I would say don't tell. I do see what you mean. Like, yeah, that all makes sense. I think, like, in my head, it sounds to me like this is kind of more of just sort of like a placeholder crush
Yeah.
because, like, they had a crush on him a couple years ago, but then he, like, or I don't know who, but then they got with their ex boyfriend, and then, like, it just seems like sort of so. Okay, I'll talk in my experience. I think, like, in my past, I've had crushes on people, and I felt like really totally in it. But then when they express some interest back, I'm like, I know, and not, oh, I suddenly lost all feelings for them, but just kind of like I just something stopped me from going further than that. And I think in a way sometimes you develop a crush on someone, and because in the back of your head it seems like a safe option because you're like, well, they don't like me,
Yeah.
and it seems like a safe option because it's never going to happen. And so I think that's kind of what's going on here. I think that, like, most likely it's because they're so certain that this friend doesn't like them, that it's like a safe option, except not safe in the way that it might be affecting their friendship now.
Hmm.
But because I don't think it's a real crush, I wouldn't tell them, because I think telling them, it does change things. Like, it really does.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like, it's just not worth it. Like, if I thought that they actually had real feelings for their friend, but they just didn't want to, like, ruin things, I would say you should share. But because I think that is kind of more of like a mental, like a security blanket, that it's their real friendship is not worth disrupting
Hmm.
doing that.
Yeah, I
um
I definitely think if it isn't, because I also do think it's probably a placeholder crush, like you said. Like I said, 2 months is probably it's either just starting if it's legit or it's going to be over pretty soon. You know what I
mhm.
mean? So yeah, if it's over for something, then yeah, don't say anything and just suck it up because the feelings aren't gonna go away just like that. But I think if it does persist for a long time, then maybe I think a conversation has to happen because I still believe if it's strong enough, then it's not gonna do you any good just sitting inside of you.
Yeah, and I would say as for like how to get over it, I like speaking from personal experience, like sometimes the only way to get over crush is to literally develop a new one. And
True.
so like if you go to school to okay, you need to start obsessing over like the random guy all the way over there that you're literally never speaking to. Like someone who's just like not your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Um if that's the case, and maybe that's not the most healthy way, like maybe I'm supposed to say like, oh, like give it time, like whatever, like oh whatever. But sometimes there is a lesser evil that is still evil, like it's
Yeah, sure.
and so I would say like probably try that. Some people are able to have like crushes on like celebrities, like that's sort of like
And they can obsess over that.
parasocial way. I don't think I ever experienced that, but like if you could do that, do it. Like get a crush on someone,
Mm-hmm.
any actor or whatever. Um, yeah,
What
I
does the
would
one
say that.
comment say?
Wait, I didn't take a screenshot of the whole comment, but they
Oh.
said the best way to get over the crush is to distance yourself from him for a while, which I would agree. But you're about to do the total opposite. I'd say just go into the next few days together, knowing that you'll likely be awkward, but it's okay. When he's spending the night, definitely don't. Blah blah blah. And yeah, I would also say like if you want to like maybe cover your ass for a bit, like just be like, hey, like sorry if I'm kind of weird right now. I'm dealing with something, but I don't really want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like this is not like it'll be over soon, like something like that. Um, and then if he's like, oh, it's really okay, just be like, it's all good, it's fine, just some mental stuff, and I would rather not get into it. I just want to focus on having a good time right now, like something like that. I would not recommend telling him, but anywho, yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that is tough. Crushes. I mean, with a friend is different. I don't like you said you not necessarily with a friend. I don't know if I can also relate to some. It sounds like
Yes,
is it a new friend or is it a new crush on a friend that they've had
it
for a while?
it must be a friend that they've had for a while because they
Okay.
said 2 years ago
Oh, okay.
that they had a crush on their friend, and I don't know how long they were even friends with before then. But yeah, I mean, okay, I have had
Then that
crushes
is
on friends
really tough.
before, but I guess just not too recently. And I would say if you're really trying to like dig deep and whatnot, then you need to figure out in yourself why you have this placeholder crush. Like is it because of the relationship, your last relationship ending in a dumpster fire? Is it because like a lack of emotional availability to like get back out there with someone who would actually be interested in you? Like why are you choosing this person that like that you are convinced doesn't have interest in you, and so we'll act as if they don't, instead of someone that would, like why are you doing that instead of like putting yourself out there via dating apps or like just trying to meet people, and that's fine if you don't want to put yourself out there, but maybe if you click in your head of like why that's happening, it'll help get rid of the crush, or maybe it won't go away, and you'll realize that these are real feelings, and you'll go ahead and share that, then you can go from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say like I used to have crushes on people all the time. Like there was literally never a time where I didn't have a crush on someone. um and it's like that cycle, maybe the only reason why it stopped is because like I realize sort of the deeper issue.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I also do think that sometimes like emotional work like that, like can't be something, like sometimes it just happens on its own timeline and you learn more about yourself as you live life.
Yeah.
So I also don't know if that's something that you can pin down at the moment.
Yeah. I will say I am not one to like have like little crushes. Like I think out of the course of me being alive, I've had like 6 people that I've had a crush on,
Mm-hmm.
and they usually either if they are nothing, it still like lasts like a little bit, and then I'm like, but whatever, or like it gets like intense or whatever, like when I was younger, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, I guess when my first ever crush, I was like, how old are you in second grade? 7. So that's
7, 8.
so that's nothing. I don't know what anything was. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not one to like develop crushes very easily, and sometimes they don't last long, and sometimes they do. So it's a little weird, and I don't think I've had one with like a friend like that where I would be like super worried about like, oh, if I say something and it doesn't work, then I just lose a friend. You know what I mean? I've been lucky enough to not have to deal with that kind of emotional toil, but I've definitely been present for friends who have, and that is rough.
Yeah, I guess I have had I think the crush that I had before, like the most recent crush that I had before Shorty, like you were aware of that. I would say like that was a friend.
Yeah.
But I would not say it was like this experience of like, oh, we're close and like, oh, I don't want to ruin the friendship. Like it wasn't really like that. So that wouldn't really be helpful. And then yeah, I don't think I have had okay, I guess I have had like a close friend that I've had feelings for, but then I also know that they weren't totally unreciprocated. So again, like it's not like it was not a totally platonic friendship. And so again, like I guess I couldn't draw exactly on this experience. But in the general experience of like I have a crush and I gotta take care of this, sure.
I gotta get it done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
okay. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say anything unless it persists, and then I think you can't hold that in. But if it's a little crush, everyone gets little crushes.
Yeah.
Except for me.
He's built it.
Everyone else gets little crushes.
Anywho, yeah. So that was. I could probably find like one of these.
Do you peruse Reddit casually often or no? Or did you actively have to go?
Not these subreddits. Like I'm not on Am I the Asshole or Advice or anything. I'm on the Yard Reddit. I'm on Hello Kitty Island Adventure, but I only go on there when I have to search something. I'm on, and then I think I also sometimes will search, and there is like a lesbian Reddit called like Real Lesbians or something, for questions.
For questions and answers.
Yeah, Q's and A's. Q's and A's. And I will not say more about that.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But yeah, I've been on it. So
okay, yeah, I'll try to see because I feel like I don't if I don't go very often, but I think I might start, and if something pops up, then I'll bring it to share.
Yeah,
but I'm not an often Redditor.
I did sort out like by new because I did see like I think it automatically sorts by best or like popular or something.
Hot, I think.
And like those ones are like people have already responded, and like sometimes people have already have updates of like, okay guys, I did what you said.
It's over.
And I just like didn't really want that, and so I wanted to pick one that was like more fresh.
Very fresh.
Yeah, I picked some other ones. Like I'll just read out like the title. Someone was, I'm in a perfect relationship, but I can't stop thinking about my friend, which was kind of similar to this. But I was like, oh. But that was also, it was a lot of writing, and I was like, I have to read all that. Friend used Chat GPT to apologize.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I want to get into that one next time.
And then I had this one. Oh, and then another one's about should I stop reaching out, and that was about like a friend that like was like kind of ghosting a little bit. So yeah, I mean, we can save those for another day, but that's what I found. So
that ChatGPT one.
Even the new ones are fairly juicy as well because those are all new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, this was a fun one.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for watching. I think I guess episode 3 just came out today as we're recording this, so I don't know what the consensus is on us as a podcast yet, but hopefully it's good. So,
I think we're getting into our groove a bit. Like I think episode 2 not the brightest.
Episode 2 not our best.
And then episode 3
I feel good about.
It was pretty good, very structured. So that was I think that was helpful to like kind of bounce back from episode 2. Oh wait, yeah. And now episode 4 I would say is most similar to episode 1. Yeah. So now I know like I gotta come in. I'm gonna come in with like we have the segments, but then not only the segments, but we should also have like topics to like freeform discuss
somewhere in the middle. We need to find our happy medium.
Yeah, and we're getting there. I think like the freeform discussion at the beginning, segments at the end works for us.
Yeah, and I didn't bother clipping episode 2 because I didn't really want to watch it. But 3, I can think of some things that I'll go back and clip, and this one I can.
Yeah, unfortunately, Danny texted me as he was editing and he put it out. He was like, "Yeah, so I know it wasn't like a great episode, lots of dead air, but like you'll have to listen to it so that we know how to clip." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll listen to it later." Never fucking.
Yeah, and you're at 2 weeks later.
So it's not gonna get clipped. Sorry.
It's not gonna get clipped. Yeah, we're gonna. You'll see a clip for episode 3, and then it's gonna say episode 3 is live, and everyone's just gonna forget that there was an episode 2, that number even is there.
I do have to click on episode 2 because Gabe told me that he left a comment on there, so I'll have to see what it was. Actually, I'm just gonna look at it now.
Just go look it up now.
I'll just look at it now. Oh fuck. My keyboard, my like magnetic keyboard, just like flopped.
Absolutely flew off.
It's a flop. Anyways, I'll just open it up now. Except, YouTube crashed. What the hell?
You're watching the flop with the
I watched the flop, and now I have to look up the Eeudge and hope that it comes up.
You're not even subscribed to your own.
I might be. No need. Okay. And you're still mocking me.
I'm still mocking you. Oh, in the via. We'll do a photo shoot where we're dressed like pirates and we'll make that the official art.
30. Oh wait, no, that was 4 weeks ago. Okay, 3 views in 3 hours. Hey.
Oh, that's 1 an hour. We'll take that.
And then so 19 views for episode 2. Don't blame you. Okay, Gabe said there's just more soup. And Gabe, I'm sorry, but we filmed this a while ago. I don't know what that's referring to.
Because I know he told me about that too, and I know it's a reference to like an old YouTube video.
Oh.
And he was like, because you guys talking about soup, right? And I was like, maybe. I don't remember talking about soup. I think I was like, oh yeah.
I'm sorry,
I don't
Gabe.
at all remember what our soup conversation was.
Gabe, love you.
Love you, Gabe. Gabe and Watch. He's in the movie with us. Go watch.
Such a genuine soul.
Truthfully, the realest guy.
Love the comment. Please keep leaving more comments. I promise I'll try to understand the next one.
Yes.
He's just too big brain sometimes.
He's a little big.
Yeah.
But he's in the movie with us. So go watch Raymond Films Helping Hand Stories. When the World Turns Quiet.
Yeah.
Gabe mogs us with his acting skills.
Absolutely does. He definitely put in the most effort, and it was the most payoff.
Right, for sure. Very funny considering he's the only one who arguably wasn't playing himself.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's how he was able to step into the role. Like versus like us, we were like, we got this.
Yeah. I was like, we got this, and then I read the script and I was like, I wouldn't say that. Okay.
Anyways.
But yeah, go check that out. I'll see if it'll let me put a link in the description.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you all for watching.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.